Okay, welcome to today's lesson. Today we're going to do a self-portrait in the Rory Lichtenstein form of pop art using Adobe Ideas. And you're going to see that today I'm going to use my self-made stylus to go ahead and to use this program using this. You can also use your finger to draw your shapes and images, but sometimes it's easier to hold something like a pencil. And you don't have to have a fancy stylus. To make this, I took a pen and I took the ink part out of the pen, so it's just an empty shell. And then I took a Q-tip and I cut the tip off the Q-tip and I put it inside the empty shell, so just the tip was showing through. And then at the very end I take a piece of tin foil and I wrap it in the tin foil. With those three items we can have a stylus just like a fancy one that you would buy at a store. And the only last thing that we need to do is we need to add a little bit of water to the tip of your stylus to get it to work. So I'm ready to go. Here's a picture of the style of pop art that we're going to work in today, Rory Lichtenstein. He's going to be our inspiration. So first thing you need to do is you need to go out and use your iPad and you need to take a photo of yourself from your shoulders up. So I just want a headshot. Once you have that, you're going to come back to your iPad and you're going to open a new program. So we're going to hit this button down here. And I want to import from our photo library. So we're going to go photo library, camera roll, and that's the picture that I want to import right there. So now I'm in a new program here, and these are my toolbar that I'm going to use. First thing you need to know is what writing tools or tools do you have to draw with. We've got a pencil, we've got paintbrush, marker, pen, and then a fill option for painting. I'm going to start off with, and I'm going to use my pencil. And we want the size of the pencil, I want to be 7.5, and I'm already at 7.5. So I can move that up or down if I want it bigger or smaller. So I'm happy with 7.5. I also want my color to be black. So I go into my color, I make sure my color is black for my pencil, just to do my outlining of my picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start outlining everything that I see here on the screen. And I can move this, close that, so I can work. So you can see I'm going to take my pencil, my stylus, and I'm going to start outlining everything that I see along here. There we go. Now we're going to use the fill option today when we're painting, just to get those bright colors in. So if we're using the fill option, we need to make sure we have closed off spaces so that the paint fill option will go in and fill things in. So as I'm working away here, I have to make sure at the very end that I don't have open spots. And you'll see what I mean when I'm painting, when I show you the fill option. If I have an accident, it'll fill in too much of a space. So I'm going to keep working. Now, this is really neat. To do the mouth area, it's a little bit smaller and it's got smaller details. So I love this. I can zoom in on Adobe Ideas and it lets me work in a more detailed spot so I can see those lines that I need to do much more carefully. And so I can go in here and I can fill in where I need those lines. And then when I'm done, I can zoom back out. But it helps with those smaller detail areas. Just a little trick that I came across. So then I can go back out and then I've got that whole facial area done and all those small details. So I would keep continuing and trace every line that I see. And you can always check and see how you're doing by going into this where it has the different layers. The 2 pages show different layers. And if I want to take off the picture layer, it'll show me how I'm doing, and then I can put it back on and keep working. So it shows me if I've missed any areas that I need to go back and fill in. Also shows me where I don't have areas closed off. If I'm going to use the fill option, I need to make sure they're closed off. I've already outlined the whole face, so I'm going to go back into my saved works and I'm going to find one that I've worked on already. And you can see I can add the picture back in. There's the picture. I'm going to take the photo away and you can see how I've made sure all of my areas are filled in. So I've sketched everything that I needed to do now, and now I'm taking away the picture layer. This is what I'm going to work with now, and I'm going to add my paint and my color. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to switch from my pencil, and I'm going to switch to fill. And I need to go back down, and I'm going to choose the colors that I want to fill. So the first thing I'm going to fill, maybe I'll start with the hat. And maybe I'll do the hat a yellow. This is great. Yellow doesn't give me maybe isn't the color exactly I want, so I'm going to open it up and I can change. And I'm going to watch here. This is going to be the color that I'm making. If I want it to be a little bit more red in it, I move that down. That looks like a nice summer hat color. I like that color. So if I'm okay with that color, I'm in the paint fill section. I'm going to double check that. I'm going to go and I'm going to tap it, and it fills in that area that I want. And I want this one the same color, and it filled in that area. I want it to be a little bit darker in that area, so I'm going to go and I'm going to make it a little bit darker in this area, and I'm going to make sure it's closed off, and I'm going to touch it, and it's going to fill it. And I realize over there that my hat is not completely sketched in, so I need, and my hat needs to be closed off in here, and then I need to have my trees closed off there. So I'll go add those lines in. Okay, let's go back to my fill. So I'm going back to fill now, and I'm going to fill this color in because it's the underside of my hat. Oh, look what happened. I wasn't closed off here, so this filled this whole area orange, which I don't want. It's okay, no problem. We go back and we undo our mistake, and it's undone already. So if you ever make a mistake, you just have to hit the undo button. So simple. So I need to go back and get my pen again, my pencil. It's black, and I need to make sure that's closed off. Now I'm not going to have a problem with that. I've got my color, I'm all set. I'm going to go and I'm going to add my orange in there. Great. Now I'm going to go, let's do the background, why not? Let's work with a bright blue color for the sky or the background. I like that color there. I'm happy with that color. So we're going to go in and we're going to fill in the background there and the background here. Now, what you're going to notice is, playing around with this program, when I'm using the fill, I actually drew a border around the outside edge all the way around. I suggest that you do that, otherwise you might have trouble with the fill option. I want that in there blue too, because that seems to allow the fill to work properly. And now I want to change blue to my green. Oh, I like that. I'm just going to play around with the shade I want. And let's add green here for some trees in that area and some green there. So you can see I'm just working away, filling in the colors that I want. I need to work with the face now. Let's see. It's a beautiful picture of my daughter, and I'm going to give her, oh, I didn't fill that in properly. I need to go back and fix that. So you can see how I'm just going to keep working away here and making sure that I've got everything closed off so that I can fill in the colors properly. When I'm done, I'm going to have a bright, colorful style portrait. Oh, I'm not in fill. There we go. Fill that in, fill that in, fill that in. She's got her sunglasses on. I got to do the nose the same color. Nose isn't a different color. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to add maybe brown for the hair. Oh, that's about right. Okay, so I'm going to add in the hair here. Good, good. Oh, I forgot. I want this color. I want the skin color the same here, and I forgot. So I use the eyedropper. And the eyedropper is going to match the color that I want. And I want that color, and it matched it for me. The eyedropper is a great little tool to help match a color that you've already got. There we go. And now, last thing, I need to do her shades. Let's add, let's see, what color for the shades? Maybe a little bit on the gray side. Kind of like that. I like that color. And let's do the shades with the light reflecting off of it. Oh, I didn't do the lips either. So you get the idea. This is what I want you to play around with. I made a mistake there. There we go. And have fun with it. Use bright, colorful colors. If you make a mistake, don't worry. You can always hit the undo button. Nice. I'm going to add the lips for the final touch. Now if I hit the line, it colors the line, so I've got to be super careful and in smaller areas. I'm going to pull it in so I don't make a mistake. Hit the line, hit the space. There. See how easy it is when you fill it in? Zoom it in, and there. I'm done my Roy Lichtenstein sketch. Fantastic. I can name it by going up here, and I'll name it. I'll name it Pop Art, and I'll hit done, and there. Yep, and we're finished.